Today I'd like to share with you from John chapter 21, verses 24 through 25. John ends his gospel by saying this: "This is the disciple who testifies to these things and who wrote them down. We know that his testimony is true. And there are also many other things that Jesus did, which, if every one of them were written down, I suppose not even the world itself could contain the books that would be written." And so John makes a couple interesting statements here. He says, one, that he is the one testifying to these events surrounding Jesus' life, right? And there is truth in this testimony. He's encouraging those who read his gospel that these are real events that happen, that John is testifying, telling a story of factual information. These are real things that happen. He also makes a statement that he hasn't told everything, and that if he had told everything, that the whole world couldn't contain the books that would be written about Jesus. Jesus was a real flesh and blood person who lived on the earth, who affected people's lives. And so these things that John is relaying to people, like, they are real and true, right? The testimony about Jesus is true. This Sunday, we'll be looking from 1 John chapter 5 about why we can trust the testimony about Jesus, why we believe it, why we think it's true. And so I want you to think about this morning, what's your story about Jesus? What's your testimony of who he is, right? And regardless of where you are in your life, your story about Jesus, your testimony about him is still being written. Even if you perhaps chose to follow Jesus at a very young age, your testimony about who he is still being written. And even if you feel like you've done wrong, you've not lived your life the way that you should have, you can still have much to say, much to testify about Jesus, about his love and forgiveness. You still have a story to tell about who he is. And so I want you to be encouraged today to remember, to believe that you can be a living example of the truth of Jesus. That for those who don't know him yet, you can be a testimony to the truth of Jesus and about his love for people in the world. Have a blessed day.